On the 8th and final night of Hanukkah in 1932, in the small town of Kiel in northern Germany, Rachel Posner snapped a photograph of her family's menorah sitting in the window of their home. The background of the photo is the building across the street, an imposing structure draped in red and black swastika flags, home of the local Nazi Party headquarters. On the back of the photograph, Rachel wrote a short epigraph. "Death to Judah, so the flag says. Judah will live forever, so the light answers." It would be a year or more before the Nazi Party took control over Germany, and more years still before their genocide began in earnest. But the writing, as they say, was on the walls. Rachel's husband, Akiva, was the rabbi of the congregation of some 500 Jews living in Kiel at that time. And he had recently written a letter to the local paper in protest of signs and posters plastering the walls all over town, "Entrance to Jews forbidden." It was not long after this, as violence and tension increased, that the Posners decided Germany had become too dangerous for Jews, and they departed for what would later become Israel. As they boarded their train, they exhorted their congregation to do the same, and most did, fleeing for the Middle East or the United States, so that when the anti-Semitic rhetoric and sentiment in Germany escalated to violence, imprisonment, and genocide, fewer than a dozen remained in Kiel. I don't wish to overblow a comparison of current Islamophobic rhetoric and sentiment in our nation to a preparation for genocide. But this holiday season, as I have read about increasing harassment and violence against Muslims in our country and vandalism of mosques across the nation, and as I have listened to politicians on the national stage suggesting ID cards for Muslims, refusal of entry to refugees and others, as I've heard of places of business plastering posters on their walls, "Entrance forbidden," and as I've been heartbroken, as I know we all have, by the ongoing reality of genocide that is already happening at the hands of ISIS in Syria and Iraq and elsewhere. As I have pondered these things and so many other broken and hurting places in this moment in our world, I've been thinking about that photograph and the daring and the hope of that menorah in the window 83 years ago. Those small candles against the imposing might of the Nazi headquarters. The light itself, a bold declaration that even in the darkness of fear and oppression, the light of the human spirit of resistance and resilience will not be snuffed out.